Hello, and welcome to episode 58 of my Let's Play Kerbal Space Program. I am KHM, and this here is what I call the Resource Transfer Pod. It's designed to carry these little tanks here with these small docking ports on each end, and will be used to transfer resources from the rover on the surface of the moon to the station in orbit around the moon. Now, currently I have 4 RCS, or 4 monopropellant tanks, hooked up to the sides here, and 1 regular fuel tank on top. In all likelihood, this thing will only be carrying 2 or 3 tanks at a time to and from the surface. But couldn't hurt to have a few extra floating around in orbit. Also, the station around Kerbin needs more monopropellant. So I'm going to dock this with the station there. Dump the monopropellant that I have in these tanks into the station while this thing waits for a new freighter to launch and dock with, pick it up and take it to the moon. So, let's go ahead and get to the launching. Fuck. Well, it's a beautiful planet, I'll admit. Nice blue and green up there in the sky, in the field of stars. But you're probably wondering why we're looking at it from the moon, and why our craft here seems to be landed on the moon. It should be somewhere. God damn it. It should be somewhere on that blue planet. Not where it is. But why is it here and not up there? And why is the Kethane miner in several pieces 6 kilometers that way? Well, actually, I guess that's just one piece, but... Oh. I can just target it. That's interesting. Anyway. Yeah. All that remains of our miner is this frame here. Which apparently we can switch to it, even though it's 6 kilometers away. At least I'm assuming that that's what we're switching to. Yep. That's actually kind of interesting. Apparently they've increased the range of things you can switch by. I was actually having a problem earlier. You know what, I'll explain that later. So, the reason why we are on the moon and not on Kerbin, or at least in orbit around Kerbin, is because Because Fraps apparently did not record our last 6 hours. Yeah. Did not record the last 6 hours. Oh, I forgot about that. I have to do something about that eventually. Yeah. Wait, did I say 6 hours? 2 hours. Last 2 hours. The last 2 hours of gameplay, Fraps did not record. And during those last 2 hours, we took our, we hooked our resource transfer pod up to the freighter, brought it all the way over to the moon, docked it with the station around the moon, fueled this thing up for a landing, moved two of the tanks off of the resource transfer pod onto the station. See, there it is. Still need to change its icon, by the way. And as you can see, the two pods are connected to our tug. It was a real pain in the ass to move those things around. It's a shame that Orbital Acrobatics was not recorded. So, yeah. Anyway, so I undocked it from the station once this thing was all set up, and began landing it on top of the Kethane miner. I was using the landing autopilot, but as you probably know from the low altitude of 50 kilometers, there's no way that it alone could do a perfect pinpoint landing. Oh, its orbit seems to be a little off. Interesting. Anyway. But with RCS, I was able to compensate for the inaccuracies of MechJeb's auto landing from that altitude, and managed to perform a nice pinpoint landing. Or it would have been a pinpoint landing right on top of the Kethane miner if the Kethane miner didn't decide to spontaneously explode a few meters before I landed on it. And all the surviving parts were suddenly 3 kilometers in some random direction. Well, yeah, there was actually several parts I believe that survived. But they all crashed into the surface and were destroyed, whereas that thing over there, it's apparently indestructible or something, because that thing just bounced forever and landed upright, which is kind of amazing. This was the only part of the Kethane miner that survived after it decided to spontaneously explode. Really annoying. So, the two astronauts... Oh, right, I skipped that part. I loaded up 2 Kerbinauts into that. No, that was last episode. Okay, yeah, so the 2 Kerbinauts that were loaded up into that are dead. The only thing we have of function is this resource transfer pod, which landed in the exact spot that it was in. Or... maybe it did. I don't know. Why is it wobbling? It is wobbling, right? Okay. That isn't very comforting. How much fuel have we got? this thing probably won't be able to make it back into orbit. Well, I suppose I can give it a try. It's not like I can salvage this thing or anything, so I might as well try putting it back into orbit. Edit path. Let's go 3, 5. Engage. Go away. Once those things are put away, I'm just gonna eject some of this dead weight. Well, so far so good. It looks like we might actually be able to salvage this thing. Alright. Sweet. Salvaged. Although, what's that arrow pointing at? I see, that's probably where I clicked or something. Just turn that off. I think that's the first time I've ever heard that sound effect. Well, I have no idea what to do now. Well, I suppose I need to go get another Kethane miner over here. Which means we need to switch over to the orbital station. Let's see. Yeah, let's change this icon while I'm thinking about it. Okay. How much fuel has this thing got? None. Alright. Well. We're gonna need to redesign this tug. So... I'm gonna go ahead and deorbit this. And then back to the drawing board. Okay, I need to take this thing back to Kerbin. And redock it with the station back there. Somehow. You know what? No, fuck it. I'm gonna redesign this thing too. It's quite clear that this thing's gonna need another component if it's going to be successful. In which case, I probably shouldn't have taken all the fuel off this, damn it. Nope, stop that. You know what, fuck it. Space Center. I'll just leave it to its fate. And yeah, I suppose I could just make some changes off, well, on camera. No, I'm not. Alright, as you can see, I've redesigned the tug a little bit to make the Tug Mark II. Wow, that didn't come out as well as I hoped it would. The Tug Mark II. There we go, that was better. I've made it slightly bigger, mainly because I added the laser mod part thing there. So this thing now has used the laser mod. Which can be useful in some ways. I've also lined up the docking port junior with the command pod thing there. So it'll perfectly line up when I have those things set to be controlled from. I know you guys kind of missed this because Fraps didn't want to record it, but I spent probably a good hour or so while doing some orbital acrobatics, trying to grab onto these tanks. There we go, with the tug. And since the tug or the docking ports were not lined up with the command thing, I had to eyeball it without the instrumentation, which sucked. But anyway, so that's bigger. I'm going to be bringing up 4 fuel tanks with this. I'm hoping I can salvage the resource transfer pod that I left in munar orbit. And if I am able to, I'll be able to use these fuel tanks to carry fuel. Altogether fuel from the surface of the moon, because that's what I need the most around the moon right now, is fuel. I'm going to be launching 3 craft, this tug, another freighter. Actually, I might bring a couple of tugs on this. Might be a good idea. Another freighter, and obviously another Kethane miner. Dock them with the space station around Kerbal, and then fly that to the moon. So let's get to the launching. Let's see, do I want to start out with this one? Right. Launch a few extra. Nah, 2 should be fine. Though if I'm going to do that, then I might as well change this up to some other resource. No use having so much fuel. Or, yeah, so much of one kind of resource. Wow, that was a really bizarre sound I just heard. Oops. And also note that currently I am playing with a slight kitty cap. It's a hand cap caused by a cat that's on my lap. On me little fuzzball. So, okay. Now we launch.
Alright, now that we've assembled all of this together,
It's time for us to head to the moon. Let's see, where's the moon? Moon is right there. So, right about here, add maneuver node. That looks pretty good, actually. Oh, we already passed that spot. Okay. Well, that's simple enough. And I'll go ahead and fast forward through our trip to the moon. Okay, now while that thing flies over to the moon, I am going to switch over to the resource transfer pod that we have in orbit here. I thought that was going into the planet. And see if we can dock it with this station here. Oh, that's actually the wrong one. There we go. Now then, we don't have a whole lot of fuel, so... kinda have to wait for it to get close. Wait a minute, Station 1 still has fuel in it. We can dock with Munar Station 1 and acquire some more fuel. Where is our target? Ah! Okay. And now that that is docked with the station, we'll switch back over to this craft, which is approaching its sol switch. Warp 2, sol switch. And once again it appears that we are going the wrong direction. Okay, well, that was a pain in the ass. Although, that was kind of to be expected. Now then. 35. We shall go ahead and end this episode by landing this on the moon and hopefully redocking our freighter with the station again. The fuck? God damn it. Control from here. Circular ice. God damn it. Didn't even realize that I was trying to deorbit from the wrong part of the ship. Or controlled from the wrong part of the ship. Shit. As if I didn't have enough fuel problems as is. Okay, we're about to land the vessel. Hopefully we won't have the same problem as last time. I shall have my hands close to the proper buttons. Oops. Engage. Okay. Don't engage, then. See if I care. Shit. Well, shoot. Let's try to save, what few solar panels we still have. Well, this didn't work out too well. Well, I guess we're gonna need another freighter. Oh. lasering bit seems to have survived. Oh! We even have a cockpit, so if there was somebody in this thing, and it wasn't unmanned, it would have survived. But oh well. And, well, because I forgot to put in some carbonauts into this thing, we can't use it yet. We're gonna have to bring some carbonauts down through some means that I haven't quite figured out yet. But we'll do that in the next episode. So once again, I am KHM, and we'll see you then.